We don't have a ton of time because we talk.
He's a married man,
Too
for
much
God's
about
sakes.
this. But I do want to actually, I want to touch on a couple things, and that's actually the first thing I want to talk about.
Yep.
Being a drummer, being a professional musician, being an adult, you need a support system.
Yep.
Right? And it's super, super important. And the drumming world, being an artist, even working at the shop, like it's the music industry, every facet of it is unique and weird. It's not you clock in 9 to 5 ever.
Mm-hmm.
When you're working is never, an early morning shift, and then you have this, it's always weird.
Yep.
No matter what you do, it's a weird thing. And having a support system behind you is super important. So I wanted to give you the opportunity, and I wanted to talk to you. Now you're married.
Mm-hmm.
Annie Greiner.
Mm-hmm. Good job.
And Eleanor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your new
He
daughter.
remembers,
I
dude.
met her.
Yeah.
I met her the other day. How
I know,
could I
but
not?
still, that's really.
And dude,
really
I wanted to talk about this because I don't hear anyone talking about this, especially when they're talking to famous drummers. They're like, "Hey, talk to me about what you think of Ringo or whatever." And I'm just like, we hear that.
Yeah.
No, I want to talk about real life. How do you wake up in the morning? You need to have a certain amount of energy.
Yeah.
You have an awkward schedule.
Yeah.
And how has that been now that you're married and having that relationship simultaneously?
That's a great question. I've never answered a question like this before.
Oh.
So.
And we're out of time.
Good night, everybody.
So my. Well, for starters, it's awesome. Awesome
Nice.
being a dad. It is the coolest. It's the most fulfilling thing that's ever happened to me. I was just talking to Blake from Between the Buried and Me, who's one of my favorite drummers in the world, and he had a little girl a couple years ago. We were just talking at Christmas Friends Red about how we've been doing this a long time, playing drums, touring, playing big shows, small shows, everything in between. And you can put it all aside. When you become a dad, it is the most fulfilling thing. It is the coolest thing ever. And I feel so fortunate and blessed to be with the person that I'm with in Annie. She is an amazing wife. She's an awesome mom. She loves being a mom. First thing in the morning, we walk over to Eleanor's bassinet, and she's waking up, and she looks up, and we look down, and we say, "Good morning, Eleanor. Good morning." And she's got this like smile that she can't contain. It literally shoots through her body, and she's just like flipping her feet up and throwing her arms. And you pick her up and you walk her over to the next room, and it's just like, all right, today can go horribly wrong.
Yeah.
And my life is pretty good.
Nice.
I explain it this way. If your house is in order, you can go out into the world and have a horrible day, and you'll be okay because you know you're going home.
Yeah.
If your house is a mess, you can go out in the world, get a job promotion, do pretty well, and it still doesn't work the way that you feel like it should.
Yeah.
It's a letdown, right?
Yep.
And so I'm in a season of life right now where I've built my band, and for a little while there I was going through some challenges at home, and now my home is in order, and I feel like my priorities are finally where they should be and where they're sustainable as a dad and as a husband. So drumming's down here, my family's here, and my faith is here. And when those three things are in order, it's like if I really suck at a show, it's not going to devastate me.
Yeah.
Whereas before, drumming was pretty near the top, and I would sit in the back of the van and just kind of cross my arms and hang my head and be like, I don't know how I'm going to face the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
Right.
And I recently heard someone referring to being in a good place and talking about health, and everyone separates spiritual health, mental health, physical health, like your work-life balance, like all of this. Like, let's stop viewing all of this as completely separate things.
Yeah.
Everything affects everything.
Absolutely.
So the more that you can lock down and kind of have as a consistent foundation, the better.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like if there's one thing that you get out of this as a viewer or a listener, it's you play drums, but your identity is not based in your performance as a drummer. That's so silly. Think about that. What? So who you are, your value is based on you playing a sequence of notes perfectly, which, by the way, you can't do anyway because you're not perfect. You're human, and you're subject to failure and not doing things perfectly. So admit that, be okay with that, and then recognize that when you do really well, don't get cocky because it's not your identity.
That's
and
right.
when you do really poorly, don't let it destroy you. It's okay. It really doesn't matter. It really does not matter. What people say about you doesn't really matter. How you perform, even up to your level, doesn't really matter. And so when you realize that, then you have this sense of freedom and you can just play. And guess what? You play better. Josh Allen, quarterback for the Bills, listens to like 5 jazz songs before he plays. Why does he do that? Because it relaxes him. It just brings him down. It brings his heart rate down. That's the way I feel, knowing that drumming isn't the most important, has to work, is the end all. People have to see me as the best. Once you let go of that, man,
you probably play better as a result of it, because you're not putting that way up here. You have your priorities where they need to be, and you're probably playing at a higher level because of that.
Absolutely. That's 100% true. And even when I don't, it's like, it's not, I can kind of laugh at it. It's the end of the world. You just kind of you kind of laugh at yourself, you know?
You suck, man. But I'm going home to a beautiful wife and a beautiful child and a happy home and everything else.
Exactly.
So there's another day for drumming.
That's it, man.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, we nerd about all this drumming stuff, and we end the podcast by saying none of it really matters. And it's true. It's true. It's true.
Very
Matt, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming out, dude.
Great, man.
We can definitely have you back anytime. This is our we've got segments and we go through stuff, but we also have another pop-in version of the show where we just gab. So we got to do that sometime as well.
Thank you for having me. I love Drums Etc. I'm really glad that it's a part of our community, and I hope to be teaching here at some point in the future.
Yes,
so
we're talking.
Thanks for having me.
Things are happening. Things are coming. Yeah. So thank you guys for checking out this episode of Drum Key. These guys, I can't deal with them. Thank you for joining us. If you want to contribute to the show, if you have any ideas for this show or next season, season 2, we're coming back, baby. Coming back in 2024 for our second season of Drum Key. We're going to tweak things up a little bit, make it better. Always, we are a local drum shop. Support your local drum shops, please. If you don't have a local drum shop, we'll adopt you. You'll be part of our family, part of our crew. Thank you guys so much for following us and being here for this experiment, which turned into the most fun thing ever. Have a good one.